Good day, good love, good light. Illuminators and wayshowers, thank you. It is a privilege, a pleasure, a joy, an honor to be with all of you today on this great awakening day, this portal of consciousness for all of us that we created together. Thank you for joining me. I am Wendy. This is my husband, Dave. Today is the portal of 1111. And not only is it the portal of 1111, but the date equals 11 as well. So we have got this triplicate energy, and then there's the 33. So all of that incorporated to the energy today. I was just I had no idea I was even going to make a video today, but yet, as the vibration would have it, I just wanted to share with all of you synchronicities, special moments on this beautiful day. And there's so many things I want to share with all of you. And it's been a little while since we've been on. Say hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
And if you're new to my channel, for almost the last 9 years, I've been sharing everything, my journey of my metaphysical shamanic journey, my journey with the language of light, the light language, channeling, all of those things, and everything to do with numerology, a little bit of astrology, light codes, symbols, galactic symbols, sacred circuitry, a lot. And so if you're interested in checking out some of those videos, there's well over 1,000. But today, everything is now, and thank you for being here today. Dave and I are celebrating, to start off with, Dave and I are celebrating our first wedding anniversary today. So we got married, of course, on 11/1 last year, 11/1/2020.
No, 11/11.
Excuse me, 11/11. I'm thinking I got 11/1 in my head. That's the day we moved in the house. So we've got a lot of celebrations this month. So we're celebrating the 11th month, the number 11, 11/11. So on 11/11 last year, we got married at 11/11/2022. So kind of another 11.
11/11.
Exactly. So
At 11/11.
11/11 was kind of my awakening code. It's sort of how I began my spiritual journey. I think as many of us do. It's been a part of my life all as long as I can remember. I've always looked at the clock and saw 11/11. Who's sorry, I don't have my glasses on.
Shining.
Hi. Hi. So good to see you here. So
happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you, my darling. And it has been such a journey for Dave and I, the last few years, and the synchronicities and how we came together, and 11/11 has been kind of part of it. And also, there's so many things that are vibrating today. And so with this being 11/11/11 day, and Dave and I met on it was like a 7/7/7 day. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, the 11/11 has always been something that was a part of my journey, and I always noticed it on the clock as long as I can remember. I think many of us have. And the idea of repeating numbers, these are the numbers. This is what makes up the universe. And I'm by no means a scientist. I'm just going through my spiritual journey and sharing it. And whoever resonates, and the number thing has been a big deal. I mean, I even did, Dave and I created a little journal for 11/11. If you guys are new to the channel, and it's really all about recording repeating numbers and what do they mean to us, and what have we set up as a human collective consciousness when we see these numbers. And this is a really special year. It's a special month. It's also happy birthday to all you November birthdays. I am a November birthday as well. My birth path is an 11. This is a master day.
And it's Bashar's birthday.
And it's Bashar's birthday. So happy birthday, Bashar. To any of you know, Bashar, the messenger, channeled through Daryl Anka. I've got my contact crystal on today, and the symbol on here symbolizes the idea of open contact, of contact specialists, of which I've always known from the moment I knew. And it's interesting that in our vibration, it's not really the date that he was born, but the idea is that in our vibration, that's what it vibrates to. Is his birthday is 11/11. There's a lot of, okay, so 11, also, Dave and I moved in our house here in Central Alabama on 11/1. So we also share that vibration. We, I think, had always decided that, well, we weren't sure what date we were going to actually get married, and I think we just decided at some point it has to be 11/11. And what's interesting is if you've
I've said since day one, 11/11.
oh, have you? Of course. So I want to say hi to everybody who's out there. I gotta put my glasses on so I can read. And last year when the day we got married, I honestly, we were so tired that because we our beloved daughter, four-legged daughter Abigail, our puppy, came into our lives of God, a week before we were to be married, and we were just having uh, did our own private session here. I think didn't we? Isn't there a public video about the one that you put together of our wedding day and all that? Anyway, if you guys are interested, he did a really nice job. Video. But let me tell you guys, we were so tired because we got her. She was 6 weeks old, and she just cried every night, all night long, as we were crate training her, and she was so tiny. So it was kind of funny that a year later, we're celebrating bringing her into our lives as well. And one of the things that I've always been excited to share on my channel is the idea of numerology, numbers, how everything's connected. And we already know all of this. We understand sacred geometry, how everything in nature, it mimics us, we mimic it. Everything is vibration, everything's frequency, everything is resonance. And we, as a collective consciousness, also created this number system. We created birthdays. And so happy birthday to you, November babies, whether you're a Scorpio, whether you're a Sagittarian. I'm at the other end, I'm a Sagittarius. And yet, depending on what type of astrology you go by, sidereal astrology, I'm a Scorpio. So this is my birth month. And I have to say, I've always felt like as soon as I woke up, and how I woke up was I literally Googled one day in 2011, 11/11. I Googled that to see what's with this 11/11 thing. And I burst into tears because and I've told the story many times. So if you've already heard it, pardon me, but it was an awakening code for me. It changed everything. When I read that, I was like, oh, what's a light worker? What's 11/11? What does all that mean? And so it sort of became something that I was guided to share, maybe to make us realize as a collective how we have designed this together to allow these numbers, these synchronicities to unfold, and how we allow those numbers to sort of signify the vibration that we're sort of in alignment with our true core. Like we see, and I know many of you, probably all of you, the 555, the 444, the 144, and I get up in the middle of the night, and it's all the time, it just happens all the time now. And I think we've just really designed this as that, of course, numbers, the Fibonacci spiral, all of those things, the 369, the 777s. I've been so excited about sharing all of this because I really believe that we've designed it with each other, for each other, as a way of sharing this connectedness. And I wanted to bring up that especially this November. Did you want to say something? Sorry.
Well, just that. Because you're excited to share it and you're excited to talk about it, that in itself means one of you out there, one or more of you out there, is also excited to hear it and wants to explore it more, because that's just the way the law of attraction works.
And that's why we love this, because if you're tuning in, whether it's now or later, doesn't matter, because as we know, everything's actually now. So whenever you're tuning in, it still means the same thing. You are still vibrating in that idea that there's some symbolism, in that idea. So I'm drinking my coffee still.
I'm almost there.
We love coffee, and so yeah. So I wanted to point out today, one of the things that I've been spending a lot of time with lately is expressing myself more artistically, drawing, painting, that kind of thing. And what I've discovered with that is I'm being guided to sort of um, put these repeating numbers and signs and symbols and galactic symbols in the artwork itself, simply for the vibration of it. It whoever vibrates toward it, whoever just looks at it, and I wanted to bring up too that today being 11/11/11, and let me explain that, because 11/11/2023 is 7. So when we add up all the numbers together, it equals 11. And this month, and I pay attention to this, and I've shared this throughout the years, but this month I just realized, like today or yesterday, that the date, the totality of the equivalent of the date, add it all up, equals the day of the month. And this happens frequently, but this year is completely a very special. I hate using that word special, because as we become higher vibrational spiritual beings, it's like we're amping it up. So literally we're at the 33, which we have collectively understood that it is vibrationally like uh, the crystalline structure of everything. And we look at it as the Christ consciousness number, and all of the other same things associated with the number 33 as well. But this year, not only because all of the dates equal the day, so on 11/10 the date equaled 10, etc. And I believe I added it up through the whole month, and I believe it follows suit through the whole month in one way or another. So for example, the 28th is my birthday, so 28 equals 10. So the date that day equals 10. And so it's very interesting that we create time. We create these things for ourselves. I'm getting like literally, like I get so vibrationally charged up with this stuff that I'm like, feel like I start to like not feel my body and float out of my chair, because we have mastered this stuff, you guys. We're really mastering this stuff now. We're beginning to truly understand, as we raise our vibration, the structure of reality. And
If you're here watching,
to pay attention to these
please
things.
say hello. And we're here live because we want to chat with you. So
it's been a while.
Of course, we could talk for hours about all this stuff, but please do make comments
Say
in
hi.
chat, say hi, and we will certainly, interact with any questions or comments or anything you'd like to explore. We're more than happy to.
Exactly.
And this day of 11/11 also represents the higher vibration of expansion.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Another reason why we wanted to go live. We always talk about going live. It's the weekend, so it's easy for us now to go live during the day. So
yeah.
Arizona,
Hello
Nancy.
from Arizona. Yeah, we're yeah. If you didn't catch that, we're in the middle of in Alabama. It's kind of it's funny. Last year it was the same way. It was really really warm the week coming up to our wedding day, and then sure as we were going to have it outside, and I said we better plan for inside too. Well, sure enough, on the 10th it got yucky and cold and raw and stormy, and it's the same way now. But so hey, I hope the weather's nice out there and warm. We were just talking this morning about, I wish it was a little bit warmer, but that's okay. So thanks for vibing with us, and yeah, if you're hanging out, I was looking at thank you so much. Hey, love light, love you too. Oh yes, thank you for being here. And all of you, whenever you stop by, it's wonderful. I just wanted to
and I did want to mention also,
yes,
you were talking about your art and creating your art, and it's a very common thing when we listen to channelings and other spiritual people talking about advice. it's like the most common thing that the advice is: try painting, try drawing, try
Yep.
acting, do
Do
type of
anything
creative
creative.
type of thing, and that brings the vibration higher, because we're all creative beings, we're all creative souls, and being more of who we are involves being creative, and being creative in an actual physical sense.
Yes.
So you can sit around and dream about doing your art all day, but to ground it into the physical reality so you could experience it in your physical reality, you actually have to do
And
it.
sometimes it's even just doing it by yourself. Even
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You don't have to share it necessarily,
Yeah.
but there is that's a whole nother thing about the sharing part.
So you were talking also about embedding in codes
Oh, yes.
and symbols and numeric significances in your artwork. I do want to say that you're doing that from a result of allowing the inspiration to channel the art through you, and it's happening.
Yes, and that's true.
You might have an intention of wanting to have that kind of thing in your art, but you're not specifically saying, I'm going to draw this.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Symbols here, and that it's
it really doesn't.
Side effect.
It is a complete. I'm glad that you brought that up too, because we talk about when we begin to wake up and start exploring our multidimensionality, that we start to we have this need to express ourselves in ways that we never really allowed ourselves to before, for whatever reason, or maybe we weren't even aware that that thing excites us, and so and I've felt myself evolve over the years, being excited about sharing sacred circuitry, and then galactic languages, and speaking galactic languages. Oh, by the way, la cosa veshamote hera shamondo ve iparo ingaya shombo shiba suno niyaba koleshe potonkoya lazitofe and akila sympathite kilasiono ma eleke inki sapa sopodaveshe la zumate evelombo aya. And it was really through light language, as I've shared many times, and since it's our anniversary, that is really what brought us together. Was
Love Light says your art is incredible and extremely powerful and activating, Wendy, just like your languages of light.
Thank you. And he's been working really hard. Dave got a new job a couple of months ago, and he's been super busy with this new job. So we're working on getting more and more information out on the website to be able to. We were just talking about it this morning too, about allowing maybe do we do print on demand? I really like everything I've created. Well, everything I've created so far, I've put out there has been my originals, and then Dave, being also his graphic background too, has been creating prints, but not print on demand, not in a big way, not like that. Thus far, literally, I opened up, and this is where kind of this is all going to with this following your joys and synchronicities, in that I just recently just started in these last few months just painting and drawing, and having this like push to do this thing that I've never like allowed myself to do before, or had the opportunity, time, whatever. And it's been an incredible journey of allowing just do it, just put it out there, because now I am in a position where I can do that today, and I'm so excited. And and I still do private sessions and oracle cards, and oracle readings and things like that, and light languages. And so thank you for that, because it's been this is the thing, you guys. I think we all think we have to do that one thing, and yet what we're being encouraged to do is be the multidimensional that you are, expressing yourself in all these ways without any insistence on where it's going to take us. It's not about the money. It's about putting myself out there for the first time in a brand new way, and inspiring other people to do the same, to just share your love and your light, because somebody needs, not wants, needs to see it. And I remind myself of that all the time. And many people walk around asleep, literally. And all of a sudden you start to see repeating numbers and you're wondering why. But back to the art thing, I was so inspired one day in this little consignment shop that when Dave and I moved in this house, we knew that his job was ending, and shortly thereafter he lost his job and had been looking for one since. So we were really literally thrifting it and really, just buying things for the house. And I fell in love with this consignment shop right down the road. And the funny thing is, we had been visiting there quite a few times, and then we realized that we had a lot of stuff that we wanted to sell that was no longer serving us. So we talked to her about getting a booth, and she was like, the waiting list is like years. We're like, oh, okay. And so we're like, okay, but you can still bring in one item at a time, and you can still do it that way, but there's only a certain number of booths. And I am not kidding you guys. Within 2 weeks, she calls us up.
So the two of us decided that we did not want to buy into that idea of having
to wait. Yes.
And we let it go. And
we're just like,
a few weeks later, she calls.
Dave's just like,
a booth available.
He's like, just put your name on the list. I'm like, well, she said it's here. He's like, just put your name on the list. And it really, that was the beginning of a lot of synchronicities, and even things that I purchased there, things that I found at other thrift stores became a new part of my journey, my awakening journey. And
Love Life says your art is timeless and you have no idea who it will touch
exactly
in the
even just sitting there in the shop
years to come. Many, I have no doubt.
Oh, thank you so much. God, my heart is swelling. And
I have to look at my phone because the way the chat works here in live is icon, heart icons and stuff block the actual text.
Here, I'll look at my phone then too, so I can see the chat on my phone. Sorry, you guys. Because I do want to see what you're saying. So it was very interesting that happened, and it just so happened it gave us the opportunity to sell all of this stuff and in other ways too. But it also allowed us, if we wanted to sell something, for example, on Marketplace, that we could just send them over to the consignment shop, and everybody wins. The consignment shop wins, and so it just really worked out really well. And once we kind of got rid of everything, and we're kind of looking at this empty booth, it was like both of us were. I don't know. It's like, what came first?
Synchronistically.
Okay. All these years, yes. Well, all these years I've been wanting to put my galactic symbols out, because I felt like if I put them out there, in a different way, not just on social media or virtual, but to get them out there in a physical way, whether it's printing, painting. When I first started this idea, it was only going to be just nothing but original stuff. And then we realized that I wanted to also make it available, but I still like the idea of hand signing print even. So the idea of doing a print on demand didn't really, and maybe people prefer it, and please chime in if but it was like, wow, I still feel like, wow, if I could hand sign something and send it to someone, I'm all tingly now. That makes me really excited. But back to from the very first time 11 years ago or whenever it was when I started writing all these symbols, which started with, if you're not familiar, the Galactic or the sacred circuitry through Bashar. And so I started using that stuff, and all of a sudden I started getting all these downloads of all this, sacred geometry and imagery and symbols. And so I started sharing it out on YouTube and stuff. But it was like, I kept hearing, especially this year, it's like, this is the time, this is the year. And it's a number 7 year. The 7 is the symbol for spirituality. All of us waking up to not only our spirituality, but realizing we're an amazing freaking spirit. We have a lot of things that we're excited about. And we because we've been taught to box it, label it, that you have to do this or this or this. No. It's this and this and this and this. And it doesn't have to be the one all thing, because as Dave and I talk about all the time, it's about pushing you in a particular direction without even, we don't know why. We don't know why. And Love Light, you're absolutely right. I don't know why, but I know that if those, God, I'm telling you, the goosebumps, you guys.
Jody Ricky Medium.
Hey, Jody, happy 11/11/11. Happy. And then, and Reiki. I'm so glad you said it, because I was thinking about that. You know, I took, Reiki classes and Galactic Reiki, and
I do want to also mention we do have a new oracle deck.
oh my God, that's part of the synchronicity, you guys.
A little bit we will pick some cards from.
So yeah, I've got two new oracle decks. I want to pick a couple cards from. Haven't opened them yet. I was saving on my desk for. I really wasn't, but so we.
But where did we get the new oracle deck?
But that's the thing. So there was a person, a gal, who opened up a booth in the same consignment shop, and talk about needing permission to be yourself. So I walked in, I saw her booth, and I think I gasped, because, and it was on the wall, was just a wall hanging of like with the sun and the moon, and she's selling crystals, oracle decks, tarot decks, incense, little charms, crystals. She gives away these little stickers for every purchase. You get to have, you get to pick up 2 of these little stickers. And I was like, I think it was even Dave looked at me. He says, well, is that enough of a permission for you to put yourself out there? And I was like, yeah, it was just so funny how.
But not only that, it gives us permission to turn our booth into the art gallery.
Yeah,
booth,
right.
But it also helps her feel welcome.
Exactly.
Because similar kinds
I felt
of
like
things,
a kindred spirit, and I didn't even know her. You know what I mean? It was like, I must meet this person.
It inspires her to continue with her booth,
which is very exciting for me too. So, and we live in a tiny town, you guys. It's small,
and we know people are interested in spiritual kinds of things that
and we see them
going to church,
and we see them all over the place at the art fairs, and they have art walks here, and half of the buildings, there's a whole art walk down here in the downtown area where all the buildings the artists have painted on the walls of the buildings. It's so pretty. And there's angel wings painted on the building. I think I've told you guys. And there's a photographer studio downtown that has a TARDIS, which is the blue police box from Doctor Who. So all these little synchronicities that sort of, brought us here. And so I'm very excited to do this. And the idea though was,
there's a time machine downtown.
It's like, and for any of you non-Doctor Who fans, TARDIS is an acronym for time and relative dimensions in space. It's a UK BBC show that's been on for, God, I don't know, since like the early 60s. Yeah. So, but anywho, y'all funny. So I, through my journey, also got interested in crystals and oracle readings and just energy, and really started getting all of this information and downloads, and started realizing that even before, when Dave and I met, that I had pages of stuff filled out, like, because I knew he and I were going to talk, and I started getting all this information downloaded about him, and then shared it with him the next day. And it was just so weird, all the weird synchronicities. So here I am synchronistically now being able to put this physical artwork out there. And I haven't even gotten into, you guys, the whole idea of shipping it, selling it. So that's a whole new, part of this whole journey for me too, is, doing that and getting into that. And do I, is anybody interested in that kind of thing? But the idea was, all those years ago, when I started getting all these downloads of Galactic codes, I've got a couple books back there, if you haven't seen them yet, but I'm starting a brand new journal today. So it's a brand, it's I finished this other journal. It's full. And so I started getting these, like, urges guidance to share all these symbols.
And show some of the pages. If you're interested in having some of these pages scanned and made available,
Right.
Because we're
starting to do
investigating all
that
kinds
too.
of different things.
And these are just, I have so many, you guys, and I know you guys that know me are like, I know. But I was looking for something, and some of this is actually my art. But which I don't know. I'm always embarrassed to show my art. Isn't that funny?
Well, so
see, this is part of my journey
this one,
too.
for example,
okay, so this one,
this is the original. We have scanned it.
I have scanned it. It is for sale at the. If I have prints of it.
Prints for I don't remember how much.
So I mean, people read, and this is just one of many different kinds of art stuff that I do, and everybody sees something different. So,
and we have discussions all the time about how we want to make available the originals, because there's only one.
There's only one, and I'm like, oh, it's not original.
That someone wants the original of, and we certainly want to make it available.
So I have all things available at the booth. I've got original, canvases. We have prints, and they're all hand signed. All the prints are hand signed. I've got little tiny canvases,
painted tiles,
painted ceramic tiles. So but I feel like I'm just getting started. And the interesting thing about it is I don't premeditate not one single thing, nothing. I don't go, oh, I want to draw this thing or this image or this. It doesn't come to me that way.
So explain a little bit about what happens while you're.
I kind of go on this shamanic transcendental journey. It's really weird.
So it opens up a gateway.
It just starts.
That allows connecting.
Yes.
To whatever.
It's sort of like these are the images of what it's like in my version of all that is and all of the dimensions and oh, I forgot to do my chime. And my singing bowls upstairs. I moved all my artwork back upstairs and all the rest of the artwork. It's funny, I have nothing hanging left down here because I took it all to the shop, and then I took all of my materials upstairs. But
this is why you follow your highest joy and excitement and be creative, because it puts you in the vibration of connecting
total
with more
connections.
And more of all that is.
So I just start I start with a blank paper or canvas or whatever it is, and it just sort of happens. And I had to laugh at this one because I really didn't have any idea until I finish it, what I'm looking at, and I look at it, and she says, and I say she because this is what came through. I don't know why, but she says, "You can call me Her Highness." I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like, where does that stuff come from? But it's from our higher selves. Our imagination is the conduit to our higher selves, and our being creative and doing all these expressions. It doesn't matter what it is: gardening, cooking. It doesn't have to be drawing. It could be just maybe it's sitting quietly someplace and finally, for the first time in your life, taking time for yourself.
And it's
to just breathe.
Form of meditation.
And it is. I get in such transcendental states, and that's why I do call this transcendental art, because. But the thing is that there is art, there's languages and light language embedded in every single one of these pieces of what was this one?
So
physics. I wrote these the day I found out that there were physical beings on Arcturian ships, and so I got these downloads of these symbols immediately. But the point is I didn't. I just wanted to say that from the very beginning, I was simply guided to share them because they're codes for people. They're just, whether I understand who's supposed to see them or why, it was really kind of like it's none of my business. So it was, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. It was like, just put them out there, and whoever needs to see it, that's the only, for no other reason, you guys. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about making money on putting, it had nothing to do with that. And that's why I started doing it so long ago in video and in photos and then gratefully on my website. And now I have a website that I can put this stuff out
Love
there.
Light has to go.
Oh, thank you so much for joining in. Like I said, we didn't plan it. We just hopped on.
Have to
Wanda,
go. Thank you again for your beautiful wings of light and
love
your
you.
heart shine.
Well,
Happy
it'll be out there.
anniversary. Do something spectacular today, heart. Love you beyond measure to you both.
Aw.
You're absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being
Thank you.
here. And catch the rest later if you get a chance. That's so awesome, you guys. And that's what I love about this so much is when we get to connect with people. And it's been such a long time since Dave and I have actually had the opportunity to actually do a video together. And I'm like, we should just do this today. It's just so important. It's an important celebration for us. And then even it being our first year too, it's so it was really just about sharing all of those and paying attention more to the synchronicities that happen in your life and like that whole thing with the shop. I honestly, okay, I have been collecting art supplies and creating art for years and years and years. It kind of sort of came with me, all my stuff. And I mean paints and pens and pencils and marker, you name it. And this is the first time I've actually implemented them all. Like, and it just happened to all, of course, fall into place in perfect harmony and synchronicity. And yet to be brave. And I don't like to call it brave because I don't really think about that, because honestly, it sort of felt like the next normal thing to do. But I had never done anything like that before, and actually that's not true. I used to do crafts, a lot of other artwork kinds of things and painting, and I would refurbish things and paint them. And I did a couple of shows like, arts and craft shows. But this is the first time I've ever, had a place where I could just put everything and it really is it's all about who walks by, what is if we want to add meaning to something, that Dave and I just understood that it's really just about me following my excitement, following my path without any insistence on where it's going to take me, without having it to be a thing like, oh, I have to do this, or oh, I have to do that. I have to pay the rent. because I do that, because it is a consignment shop and it's a booth and you pay rent. And
let me interrupt a little
but
bit.
yeah, please do. Go ahead.
To explain a little bit how we find that it works.
Oh, and these are the cards I bought in her shop, in her booth.
Yes, at her
So
shop.
yeah, in her booth.
You're following your highest joy and excitement, and you think that that's the most exciting thing, and it should be exciting and wonderful and all of that. But part of the excitement, part of the kit of the excitement is all the beliefs that you have that are preventing you from becoming more excited about it are going to present themselves.
Yep.
So it's a positive gift that, okay, now we have a booth. We're going to actually be showing these things. And I'm saying we, but it's really Wendy.
He has helped me with the whole thing.
All the beliefs that are surrounding the idea of being in the public, having people see that you're doing spiritual things. We have a sign that talks about,
and it says light language and oracle readings.
So every little aspect of beliefs that
I had to just let it go.
You from going further in your excitement are going to come up, and you could address them however you want to address them, but they will come up and you can decide, oh, that's interesting. I never really thought that I didn't feel worthy enough to put a piece of artwork on display in my local community. And what are people going to think? And what if they notice? And what if they see
what if they figure out it's me? Oh my God.
So you could just say, oh, how exciting. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to buy into that.
And now
it goes away.
I put out the business cards. I put out that I do oracle readings and light languages and spiritual guidance and all the stuff. So it's not just about the artwork, and just allowing myself to just be myself, because her putting in her booth gave me permission to be me. And I know that it gives people the permission to see their own creativity. And actually, I got to say, there is a gal that she and I have been corresponding for years. We've never actually met really at all. And she lives overseas, and she just put her artwork out today on 11/11. and put out her stuff, her own artwork. And she said to me a week or two ago, I think it was, she's like, Wendy, thank you for just giving me the permission to do this, to thank you for that. And then to see her do this today on 11/11, and I was so excited for her, and just the joy that brings, and to see her doing that was really awesome. And
so the little bit of spiritual advice that I have for the day is there is no intrinsic built-in requirement of any of this being difficult. It's only our own beliefs that say, oh, that's hard, I have to work on this, and I have to dive deep into the rabbit holes of this and that. That's entirely up to you about how you want to expand yourself. It could be hard, it could be easy. It's totally up to you. And anyone that tells you, oh my God, you need, it's going to take 6 months to, take my ascension course. Well, of course, a course might take so long, but you don't have to buy into the idea that it's hard.
It was so easy. It was so easy. It was like, it just came so naturally. Once we decided to actually use that for the booth, it was like, there was just so much pouring out of me. I've never painted on a canvas in my life until this year.
And it turns out, because you're interested in that and learning more about it, you spent a lot of time, and we've watched a lot of videos on YouTube about artwork and how to do it, and techniques and so forth. And
I've been devouring it.
Came very easily for you as you connected to the ideas.
It's just like,
but the interesting thing is, a lot of these artists that have YouTube channels that talk about this stuff, you could just substitute away artwork for a spiritual journey, and they're talking about and the same thing. They say the same words, same terms, words, and some of them may realize that they're, they could have been, watching spiritual people all this time, or they're just learning in their own journey that the answers are all the same. Follow your highest joy and excitement. Don't have any insistence on what happens, and follow your own guidance, and don't buy into what other people are trying to convince you that you're not good enough, or your artwork isn't good enough, or who's going to want that, or this town doesn't care about that kind of thing. You're creating your reality. And those kinds of comments are merely just helping you decide.
I'm telling you guys, it's total BS, because in here I'm like, oh, I'm in a small town, and and we're in the Bible Belt, and people are gonna, well, and actually someone said that to me one day when we first moved here. She says, well, they're either gonna think you're an angel or the devil incarnate, and I had to laugh about that. But exactly. Thank you, Laszlo. Hi, thank you for being here and hello to Hungary from the US. And and one of the biggest honors for me is meeting all of you in every way, and to feel this connection across the world, you guys, with you. It is amazing to me. You see, I got my globe back behind us. I made sure it's lit. So I turned it on. I turned on the globe. There's the pyramid, my oracle cards behind me, our throne. It just felt like such a good day to connect with everybody. And I just thank all of you for being here. And I've received so many beautiful gifts over the years, and I mean gifts of just exchanging love and energy, and in sessions, and the gifts you guys have given to me, and I've received. See, this is the thing. I've received gifts from people from all over the world of their own creations and the things that they made for me. And I just was so overwhelmed and touched that someone would think of me that way and literally send it to me. And so I thought, wow, what a beautiful thing to be able to do, is not just to have necessarily a digital download, which those are wonderful, because you can print them on your own. You can put them wherever you want. They're very inexpensive. Um, but I thought, wow, to have a physical piece of paper, or, to hand write a thank you note to somebody, or, those, I think really appealed to me more than anything. But yeah, this has been a really a very interesting year for my own spiritual development and our year together. And so I have to laugh because the day that I saw her booth, how's she doing? Our puppy's over here, so
she's finishing.
she's
our
so she might be getting up to get restless. Our little girl's over here. So that day that we okay, you're gonna take her out. Oh wait, is she still okay? Oh, are you? Oh wait, she's still eating it.
Yeah. Sort of some tissues laying around.
Oh, I see. Okay, he's tending to the puppy. She's eating her bone, and so she has one of those big meaty bones. Good girl. Okay, yeah, she's good. Okay, so oh yeah, it's like she loves them. Babysitter for at least an hour or two. So yeah, fresh meaty bones. But so one of the day I saw her booth, and I saw the crystals and everything, I got oh, this is so shiny. I don't even think you guys can see that. Can you see that? Oh my God. It's the Romance Angel Oracle cards. I have not even opened this deck. It's so funny because we've been there time after time after time, and I actually bought another deck from her as well, a runes deck, which I'm really excited about because I also have runes. It's been a long time since I've done that, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll figure out a way to. I'd like to incorporate them somehow, so in other readings too. So, but I know we're getting a little bit long on time, but so being that it's our anniversary, and I bought this deck there, and this is the first time I've ever opened it. I have really no idea what the cards are inside, but boy, I'll tell you what, this thing is very, very shiny. And it doesn't even have any other indicators on it just says or a Romance Angel Oracle cards, and there's no indicator of who the creator is. And here, let's see if you can see and this is the back of the card, and which looks like the cover also, so you guys can see it a little bit more clearly. I don't know, boy, that is really shiny. And this is super shiny. But I kind of like that prismy thing. Me and prism, that's one of the energies that I connect to so lovingly, is the prism collective. And then I also got a couple of, so this is these are tiny. I don't even know if you guys will be able to see these little charms, and one of them is what is that? The moon, I think, and the other one is, can you see these?
Yeah, I think that those are like the
these are the tarot. Yeah, they're like little teeny tiny tarot cards. There you go. And I came up with a crystal. I think this is, I want to say this is aquamarine, and I do know that that's amethyst. So if you guys can see it, it's very tiny. And then I wanted to share too. This is funny. I just played this song this morning. I forgot I picked up this is one of the stickers, Witchy Twitchy. So it's kind of like a show and tell today. Here, I'll do it right between Dave and I, so I don't. Witchy Twitchy. I just played that song Witch this morning, WITCH. So if you haven't heard of it, play it. It's awesome. It's so much fun. So I played that song today. So somebody needs to get their witchy witch on today. So there you have that. Hey, Pie. That's really funny because we were just talking about making an apple pie yesterday. I didn't. Oh, you must have picked this one.
Pumpkin pie.
Oh, pumpkin pie.
You
Yeah.
picked that.
Did I?
You must have.
Okay, that's really funny. I should be looking at the numbers at the top.
3.1415 3290.
Oh, we're talking about numbers and sequences. Pi.
14. 77. So
that's really funny. Pie, because we were just talking about making pumpkin pie and apple pie. So that's really
Mhm.
funny. I thought maybe you might have picked that pie card. So
Maybe I did.
I have not yet looked at these, shuffled them, or anything.
We create
Boy,
our reality
these are
from the
super.
now. So that means we're creating this pie card now.
Now. That's true. That's true.
And we do want pie.
Okay. Well, as soon as I turn it over, and I don't think I want to share this one because this one's a personal message for me. So I think I'm just going to cut that deck.
Keep shuffling.
I'll share it with you another time, perhaps. Maybe. So, yes, I'm just going to kind of mix these babies up.
So I do want to also
Yes,
just
do share while we're shuffling.
mention
Yes,
that
always shaky.
the prism-y characteristics
This is
of these
crazy. They're
cards
very prism.
also reflects the idea of the holographic nature of all things.
And that's so true too. And I'm glad you mentioned that too, because that's how I've been sort of interpreting a lot of the stuff that comes through the paintings. Is this is what the language of light is. It's color, and it's thought into form.
And the idea of holographics in a multidimensional way is that every particle contains the whole everything. So
yes,
in the physical world, let's just say you have a piece of pie. The pie is really a holographic representation of the pie, but every piece of the
pie is still a piece of the whole.
Contains
all the
everything.
pie.
So every piece of that pie contains all the information of all things of all time, and all things are available to the pie and to us observing the pie, and it's holographic. We're just picking a perspective that allows us to see it as a pie.
Very well put. Yep, that's exactly true. All the ingredients are, and just like the drop of the water in the ocean, you can't, that drop of water contains everything else in that ocean, and the same with us. We're no different. We are the drops of water in that endless stream of information.
We're creating a separation for the experience. There is no real separation.
You want to choose a card?
Sure.
So if whoever sees this message is for all of us.
Okay.
Ooh, new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Ooh.
I'm new every moment.
New every now, guys. Boy, is that shiny. New love. Now, I'm also reminded by our spirit guides, maybe some of you are also falling in love with you. Maybe the new love is this new love for you. And I would be remiss if I didn't share that message that it isn't always about another person. Maybe it's that awakening within you. Maybe it's that new love that you feel for yourself. Maybe you're feeling a new love for someone else, or seeing
or something that you're passionate about.
Yes.
Like
perfect.
Artwork.
Like artwork.
or
music or anything. Maybe you want to start cooking. Maybe you want to learn how to make more food. That's been a big focus for Dave and I, is food and being more creative with it. And what anyway, that's a whole different video. But new love, and sometimes too, we fill our hearts, we fill these holes that we think we need to fill with someone else or something else. And really, it's just about understanding that new love is really about connecting with yourself, your higher self. And boy, I tell you what, the tears and the love that I have felt when I've received information or downloads or a revelation, an answer to something. Boy, talk about love. And I think that that's what it is for all of us. Really, it's love or fear, that anything that, and I've been guided recently these last few days to say to myself, what would love do in that exact circumstance when you're feeling that icky feeling inside of you? Because that icky feeling is something that's an indication that you're feeling something that is not in alignment with your higher self, who you really are. And when you get that icky feeling, that whatever it is, it's telling you you're not loving something. And where does that it's something needs new love. And that revelation of looking at a circumstance and saying, what would love do? How would the essence, the actual love, what would that love do in that particular circumstance? And boy, just that little shift in focus really changed how I begin to see circumstances. So that's the message I got with the new love, as well as any way we'd like to apply this meaning. And maybe it's a substantiation for some of you that, this is a new love for you, or how can you look at something in a new and loving way. So I like that message. Is there anything you wanted to add to that?
No, I think you've answered perfectly.
Okay. And I wasn't sure. Do you want to do the runes, or should we just kind of? And I got these on different days, these decks on different days. So it was very interesting. And I was hoping to actually find the rune.
Is there like instructions with this?
No, you just read the card. Yeah. Now these runes, if I can, I was hoping that. So I have the actual runes here, the stones.
Could we show this one?
Oh, I don't know. Is it?
Could you see it?
Oh, I do. Well, I don't know. Do you think that's? I guess I don't. Well, maybe not. It's just. It's just.
We say it's not for children.
It's maybe. Yeah, it's not for. It's not a photo for children. Let's just put it that way. I mean, it's just a naked woman, but it's. I could say it out loud without showing it, I suppose. I thought maybe if we found. Did you pull it again?
That's funny.
We could tell where his vibe is at. So yeah, well, that is kind of funny too.
I wonder why.
That is really funny. All things considered, because that's just really funny.
I guess I should pick another one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a book.
No, this book came with my stones, the rune stones. But I don't know if I don't know if I would be able to fish. I don't think I want to fish all the stones to try to find that exact one. Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. Okay, let me see if I can see it. So you can show the card, and so I'm going to look in my
associated.
There's no associated book or explanation with these rune cards at all. And I have the book that came with my actual stone runes. So I'm going to see. I'm going to see if it
symbol looks like an X.
Yeah, so I'm going to look up the X in here.
The symbols are.
And there's not that many. Here it is. Here it is right here.
Read runes?
Here it is.
Oh, that's it.
So that's it, and that's the name of it. And they actually and I don't know how to pronounce this. This is a Gebo. It's, excuse me. The meaning for this is gifts. Gifts, both in the sense of sacrifice and of generosity, indicating balance, all matters in relation to exchanges, including contracts, personal relationships. This is funny. Very synchronistic. And partnerships. Gebo, am I saying this right? Merkstave. Oh, and this rune cannot be reversed. And then it says what the opposite of that is. But since it's this rune is not to be read in reverse, I'm not going to read it.
Let's just see what this other one is.
Oh, you're going to see what the message is without showing the photo. I mean,
we could show.
I could show it here. Let me do this because I'm sure people would be like, "What? You're not going to show it?" Here, let me cover her. There you go. I'll just cover her.
Okay. Okay, that is Laguz, water or leak.
That's why I had to laugh, because it reminded, we bought, and we, since we have a puppy, we decided instead of going on a honeymoon this year, we would buy an inflatable hot tub. So if you guys are wanting to get one, it's pretty cool. So we got an inflatable hot tub, and of course, I'm in it this morning naked. And so that's why we were laughing about it. And you're saying it has to do with
Flow,
water.
water, sea, a fertility source, a healing power of renewal, life energy, and organic growth. Imagination and psychic matters.
Ooh,
Dreams, fantasies, mysteries, the unknown, the hidden, the deep, the underworld. Success in travel or acquisition, but with the possibility of loss. So there's always two sides.
of course. And I didn't read the other one, but I guess I could if anybody wants to.
Oh, I see. So the term Rookscave is just, I think, a term they use for the opposite.
Oh, Jody says it's a synchronicity for her. Yes, new passion. Sweet. Oh, that's very exciting. I'm glad to hear that. Nice. See, you always know when somebody needs
So
to.
I'm not going to read the whole reverse, but basically lack of creativity
Oh my
and feelings
gosh.
of being in a rut. So you get to choose, do you want the positive or the negative? Now, of course, I also picked them
Yes.
upright, not
Now you're making me
reversed or
think I should
whatever.
read the other part of that other card, but
But
that's okay.
everything has an opposite, and
That's
the
true.
energy is the same. You get to choose. That's one of our powers of being human, that we get to choose what meaning we want to put into it. And if our immediate reaction is, "Oh my God, that's horrible," that's the gift of saying, "Why would I want to choose that?"
Yep.
Because there's another option, and that's sort of the idea of
Excuse me.
when people make predictions. So the idea of hearing the prediction, if it's something that you don't like, you're hearing the prediction of the thing you don't like, because that's the energy you're moving toward now, and you could
And you
choose it
get
in
to
every
choose.
moment
It's
about
not.
changing it. And most
Yep.
of the time, becoming aware of the prediction changes the result that you will experience.
That what you just said really rung a bell with me with that new love card, because the understanding that you are new in every now, that we really, if we could just wrap our physical minds around the idea that we are literally a consciousness having an experience, that all of this, all of our body, everything we see, everything we do is within our consciousness. And just as Dave said, if you look at every moment as new and a new love, a new way of doing something, what a relief that is when we truly begin to understand that, you don't got to hang on to anything unless it's serving you. And that's okay too. But we get to choose. We get to understand now. We get to choose. We get to understand it's not happening to us. It's happening for us, by us. So we get to choose the vibration we want, how we want to feel about that moment, how we want to design it. And but still with no expectation other than knowing it has got to be the best thing for me. And yet again, understanding there is no prediction. You can pull oracle cards and go to readers and go to psychics, just like you said, but it gives you the opportunity to say, wait a minute, I get to choose whether or not that is the energy and the direction I wish to continue, because we're new every now. And again, it's physics. It's quantum physics. We already understand this. Humans understand it. Science understands it. But the collective consciousness hasn't, we think that science is behind, but yet, they're starting to understand that science is starting to catch up with the spiritual community, that, oh, everything is connected. Oh, Reiki does go across the world, and it actually has a physical effect on somebody, even though it's, through the airwaves. And how do we explain that? That's what quantum is. That what happens here affects anything, anywhere you project it to. And it's interesting that Jody's here too. Reiki medium. It's we understand that Reiki is energy. It's life force energy. And I don't think that anyone could really deny that you can feel someone's life force energy, even through, this internet collective consciousness. It's undeniable. Is it the same as physically meeting and hugging and touching? No, it's a different kind of it's almost like more of a telempathic connection because you're not physically touching. How can we find a new love in the way that we interact with each other, even this way? And I'm not even going to get into the idea of social media right now, but
the idea of being online is actually a closer reflective representation of our true selves as just being energy coexisting with other energies, and how we cooperate and co-create with those other energies, because there is no physical. The physical idea we're completely making up. So
yes.
outside of physical, there is no hug. There's only a sharing of energy and vibration.
But don't you guys feel hugged though, kind of? You know what I mean? Like I do. I feel hugged. Like I can feel it from people. Even
Well, that's the point.
through a
That you
comment or
don't
through right.
need the physical senses to telepathically
Yes.
share in the vibration.
And once we understand that that is the truth,
and with having the physical experience, it also means taking most advantage of the physical experience, so you can actually
yes,
touch and hold and hug and kiss.
And that's part of the message I was getting with this 11/11 thing, and this month of 11, and actually the date equal midday. And it happens periodically throughout the year, which I have pointed out. I think May was that way too, where the day and the date equal. And anyway, but it was kind of like my guys were like this morning, like, just put it out there today about paying attention to this month, because it's sort of like they said, it's the vibration of that number, but double. And to just invite people to pay a little bit more attention right now to the energies of this month, the path that you're going in, the direction in which you're moving, and understanding that we are literally at this precipice of the new love. The idea that once we begin to understand, you are not changing the earth you're on, you just change you. And then you move to the vibration of a version of earth that is more in alignment with that new realized being, that wake and aware being, where the other beings residing there. And I'm being reminded of this right now because of some comments I made this morning. So I'm also getting information for myself in this message, kind of like the you need to look at this. We invite you. You never need. And I don't like using that word to anyone ever. You are always invited because you need to do nothing except for what you need. And that's different for everybody. So I know I digressed there for a moment, but that was a big message too. But to pay attention to vibrationally these dates when they're happening, because, okay, for example, today's an 11 day, and it's and this is really magnified today because it's 11/11/11. But let's just say tomorrow, okay, tomorrow's the 12th, and it equals the 12th. What is that vibrating to you? What does that mean to you? That 3 and 3, the 12 and 12, that 30. See, this is how my mind works, is, tomorrow's the 12th and it equals 12. So right away in my mind, I see 3 and 3. And however you want to expand that out, but the idea is to take full, I love how you said that, make the most of every moment. And he said the same thing to me this morning. I swear to God. And water, that's another thing. The idea of paying more attention to the water idea and the collective, and the water that's literally in the air, and how we have the ability to change the molecular structure of anything we put our minds to. That's what sending healing does. If the other person is receiving it, then they are saying, I'm willing to change my vibrational, geometric, kaleidoscope structure in order to move to a vibrational kaleidoscope structure that I am in a different reality, and experience new things that I could have never experienced had I not created that shift in my own consciousness. And now we're being asked to do it consciously. You're all channeling. We're all channeling. Now we're being asked to just be more conscious of it. And I can sit down and I can just open the book to a blank page. And it's almost like my heart opens it up and I will hear, oh, one day it's these are the flowers of Asesani, Bashar's planet. This is, this is the Pleiadian perspective. This is, but it's so beyond all of that. That's so small. Like, we're being invited to understand even that, you guys, those labels, those boxes, it has to be this star system, and where do I come from, and what DNA do I have? And we have it all. We have not even begun to understand the whole story and who we are, what we're capable of, and how freaking awesome and magical we are. So I know we've gone long over an hour. I told Dave that I said I never mean to do it long, and yet I get so excited.
It's almost about
it's sharing.
1:11. 1:10:11.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Well, that just tells me it's time to wrap it up.
It's almost 1:11.
11, right? So I guess that's my sign. Yeah, dove shepalehanapate, sevesonote, vishamoko inki, chisopote, sevesomode, invalikonto. So as Dave and I are finding our new balance with our hours and his job and excuse me, and event times and when to schedule times and things like that. But yes, please do contact me, get in touch with me through the website, languagesoflights.com. Of course, the link will be below in the description, for in any way that we can serve you and your journey. We're just excited to do so in any way that you can imagine is a way. So,
and I'm working on Wendy's website to get some of this artwork up in a way that we want to show.
Oh yeah, and don't forget, you guys, my website. Dave and I created a bunch of journals and 52-week planner, and it doesn't start and stop at any. It's just 52 weeks. So whenever you pick it up, it goes for a whole year. A place to record your repeating numbers in 11:11, and what synchronicities did I have when I saw that number, and what has happened that day, what magic happened that day. So it's sort of designed in a way to do, to record that. And composition books, if you're just making notes, or they're filled with light codes. And, the holidays are coming up. Maybe you got spiritual people or family members who are maybe just getting into this, or maybe they're not even sure what all of this is about, and sharing this information.
And if you're interested in having Wendy create something
personal for you, that's what I do.
Languagesoflights.com.
Yeah.
There's contact forms if you don't already have Wendy's contact information. And
Dave and I do sessions together also.
And I know when you will be very excited to create something specifically for someone.
Absolutely.
And of course, depending on where you are in the world, if it's easier for us to scan it and send it to you,
that's fine too.
Or send you the original as well.
Whatever
work it all out.
You're interested in. So I'm just excited to share it, and to know that I've done a bunch of videos. If you guys haven't seen, if you're new to my channel, I've been doing a lot of videos about while I'm creating the art, what's happening, speaking light languages, blessing so it's not just written stuff. It's my energy is embedded into everything, as every artist is. Yet I'm doing it so consciously too that, it just excites me to send this beautiful energy into this artwork, and it's just exciting. So anyway, thank you for sharing my artistic journey.
Since we are all connected and we're all really family, otherwise you couldn't be watching this video.
So true.
If you happen to see something that Wendy's working on, or at some point on the website or in the videos,
I know he's getting there.
The idea of feeling that connection to the artwork is really that you're finding another part of yourself that you're being introduced to through Wendy.
Oh, that's such a nice thing to say.
So the
and
artwork
bring up
itself is really part of you, and because you're creating everything in every moment, you're really creating the artwork for yourself through Wendy as a permission slip.
Absolutely. And I was just thinking about how I've been excited to even hand draw, codes on on clothing and stuff like that. So I was like, my mind is just reeling with stuff, but I like to hand do things, and so there is that. But anyway, and thank you for all your love and support with all of this and supporting my artistic journey. And I'm excited that he's excited about his work and all of this as well. So yeah, just very excited to be with all of you. Mwah. And yes, you are definitely family. Now, both of us, so because we all are connected. Lazabashono ote, shizamato veshe kumboro kove elasa, semashoto intaya elase koma evalokoma. May you always feel the energy and ecstasy of this new love and of my love for you. And is there anything you'd like to share in a blessing?
No, it's ana to you. Ana to ana to anayo ane what ia anayo that to ne to ika ane what anana. Thank you, and thank you all for joining us. It has been a pleasure, and we very much enjoy the co-creation with you.
And thank you for being with us in every now. Mwah. We love you. Mahala. Namaste.
I guess that means we're done.
I think so.
I have to click the button.
I was going to do the may the light within you